weird word.
What is up, Flick fans, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking about the brand new film Playmobil. And that's it. No, I'm just kidding. I watched it, so we're going to talk about it. I need you in the comments below. Are you watching something else this weekend? Hopefully. Okay, so Playmobil is an animated feature film inspired by the Playmobil brand toys. That's what the summary says on IMDb. It makes a lot of sense. This is bad. This is really bad. This is easily the worst animated movie I've seen this year. And not just because it's a cheap Lego movie ripoff / cash grab that it's probably not going to grab cash from, but because it's lazy. The entire movie is so lazy that they could not even provide our characters a proper adventure or a story that even became remotely interesting. Now, here's what I'll say positively about this film. Anya Taylor-Joy, what are you doing? No, positives. She's good at the beginning, and it's probably because they attempt to give you some sort of emotional connection to these characters at the beginning of the film. Now, I mentioned they go down the Lego movie route, but instead of making it the characters that are alive while the humans are walking around in this film, not a spoiler. Who cares if it's a spoiler? In this film, they turn in to the characters. So something happens, they get sucked into this world, and now they have to go on this adventure. And to this point in the film, probably 10-15 minutes in, I'm sitting back going, okay, it's not good, but it's not this travesty that I've been hearing about. It's not the worst animated movie I've seen this year. That was before we got into the animation. Once we get into this world, once we understand the journey that we're on, and these exaggerated, over-the-top characters come out of the blue, make zero impact on the story, and you're going on the most conventional, boring adventure in the world, that's when I started to realize that this film is purely a ripoff of the Lego movie and a film that is trying to appeal to super young kids, parents to super young kids that will take their children to the theater and allow them to experience this glorious movie. Well, here's the problem with that. We get animated movies all the time that manage to appeal to children and to adults, where this film completely falls flat and butchers its concept as opposed to the Lego movie, a movie that I was fearful for because of the concept, well, pretty much the exact same fears that I had going into this film. But my one thing about this movie, it's like, oh, we've seen Lego Movie do the exact same thing, and that movie worked really well because it nailed the humor, it nailed the tone, and it included something for adults. This film is purely targeted to the youngest of children, but not even that, right? These jokes, I think even 5- and 6-year-olds would look at their parents and go, but Mom, that's not funny. Even I think that's cringeworthy, and I've only lived on this earth for 5 years. It is every kid's movie plot that we've seen over the last 10, 20 years, all wrapped up into one just incohesive story with lazy, not horrible, right? You like Daniel Radcliffe. He's a good actor, but it feels like this voice acting was just here so they could obtain a paycheck, and I don't blame them for doing this. I don't blame Anya Taylor-Joy. She's good when she's there, present, on-screen acting as she does over the first 10 minutes and the last 5 minutes of this movie, but everything else here just feels like an attempt to appeal to, suckers. Listen, I'm a sucker. I went and watched this movie. I thought I could maybe get something out of it. I saw the scathing reviews. I'm like, well, you know what? I've seen plenty of movies this year that have not gotten the best reviews that I've responded to. And Lego Movie, I really enjoyed. So let's see what Playmobil has to offer. Let's give it a shot because this concept is something that could have worked in theory if you had a completely different crew. If you had a different director, different writers, because I'm telling you, this is the laziest I think I've ever seen a script for a kid's film because they are literally telling the exact same jokes over and over and over. Daniel Radcliffe's character, he's this cool guy, right? He comes in every 5-10 minutes, solves every problem. There is never an issue that they cannot solve because these random characters are coming in and solving everything. You have this obscure and almost repulsive villain who is not even that villainous, and then every single thing that they encounter, Radcliffe's character comes in, or another random dumb character comes in, and just solves it, and they tell the same joke, and they play the same song, and he smiles, and he winks at the camera. Except I'm not sitting there falling for the ridiculousness. I kid you not, I chuckled once during this movie. There's a joke where this monster, this creature is coming out and somebody goes, here he comes, run. That's it. That's the only time I laughed. Everything else, my face was like this. And here's another thing. Here's the tell of the tale for the audience for this film. There were a lot of kids in this screening. No one laughed. There was no laughter. Even the kids were not laughing. They were bored. They were looking around. They were pulling at their moms. Mom, can we go? I'm scared, Mom. Well, that's not what you want a movie like this to do. Well, maybe it appealed towards the adults. Nope. If this is anything, it's a movie for 2- and 3-year-olds. It's a movie for children whose brains has not developed to appreciate humor. If they just came out of the womb, play it for them. Maybe they'll like it. Playmobil was really, 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 really bad. And here's the thing, I tend to give animation a bit of a pass. If it appeals towards children, at least it's watchable for adults. This movie does not even do that. A couple of good voice performances in there if you look deep enough, and some nice live action stuff that really didn't even do anything for the story. I just like seeing Anya Taylor-Joy because I like her as an actress. Before I give my score, if you guys enjoyed this video, if you like my positivity, leave this thing a thumbs up. I apologize for being so negative, but my goodness, this thing is just a pure cash grab. And I'm going 15%. 15% for the things that I liked earlier, but that's about it, man. Playmobil, yeesh. I don't think anybody's going to see this. What are you watching in the theater this weekend? Is it Waves? Is it Dark Waters? Is it not this? Please don't be this. Don't watch this. All right, you guys are the best. I'll see you soon. I'm going to go to therapy or something.